not such bad weather outside. So that sounds good.
It's beautiful weather outside.
Yeah, beautiful.
And happy
Beautiful.
Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
So I think I'm just going to jump right in. You have had just such a remarkable career with collaborations with industry giants like Nike and Virgil and the debut of your brand at Paris Fashion Week in 2017. What do you attribute your incredible journey and the phenomenal success you've had to?
I would say, my creative curiosity and drive and energy to just want to make stuff and share that with the world. Connecting with friends, culture, and just pushing the boundaries, forward to create new possibilities. I think that's always just been something I've really been interested in. I think I'm someone who gets bored real quickly and wants to go on to the next thing and just keep going to the next thing. And that, years later, we're here on stage talking about all these projects, but it's just been my curiosity and preserving that and keeping that alive, but not letting that die. Because I feel like once you lose your curiosity, it's just all over.
I love that. Have you been that way since a kid?
I've always been that way since a kid. Just taking things apart and putting them back together, or hanging out in the kitchen with my mom, watching her cook, or with my grandma, and learning how to cook. And I look at a lot of what I do like a kitchen. We're just experimenting, trying to set something on fire, slice something with the mandolin, and just trying new things, trying to just cook. And I look at my creative process as that. Right? Like designing new recipes, there's no right or wrong way. It's just what works for you and if you're having fun or not.
I love that so much. Your brand has a reputation for being innovative in both fashion and sustainability. Can you share some of the key principles that guides your brand's sustainability initiatives?
Authenticity. I think that I'm someone who really appreciates authentic voices and strive to be one of those authentic voices in the space. Community, culture, and just kind of working with those that support you. I'm not in this alone. There's a whole world out there, and so just really valuing culture and how do you kind of build and continue to grow that culture. Boundary breaking, right? Like pushing things forward. Again, I mentioned I get bored really easily. It's like how you identify gaps in a space and give that a voice, give that texture, give that love. I think that's kind of, the space I really love to operate in is from an authentic voice, giving something texture, love, working with culture, working with community.
You can even see that too in like the people who follow you. Like it's almost like you build this virtual community. When you look at like the videos of them talking about like your collection or like you, like it's almost like a lot of these people don't know you, but they feel like they're a part of your community.
It's just like always being in the streets as much as possible. And what I mean by being in the streets is like being outside, from, nightlife. I DJ a lot, right? So I throw parties and, that's a moment that you can build culture, you can connect with friends, leverage music and fashion and vice versa. And that's what we started noticing early on with like projects like Big Trill. Some of you that may not be familiar with Big Trill, that was another brand that I had a couple years ago with Virgil and Matt Williams and a friend of mine, Justin Saunders, who does a brand called Jown. But we kind of crossed over between music, art, DJing, throwing parties, fashion, skateboarding. And you kind of start to build up this whole entire world. There's a whole audience out there that I think, loves to, wear many hats, and that's someone like myself as well. And so it's just kind of sharing information, sharing creativity, but inviting people in on that process with you.
It feels like there's a lot of love in what you do. Like that's what I felt just hearing
Yeah, you need to be passionate. There needs to be love, or else I think that is what you always need to just remember is why you're doing something. You know, to answer that question.
How do you incorporate sustainability into every aspect of your brand, from design to production to marketing or consumer engagement, or are you thinking about it in that way?
I don't think I'm thinking about it in that way. In a way, it sounds like you're trying to achieve like 100% sustainability, which I personally don't believe is achievable or realistic. I like to use LED more than the word sustainability. LED stands for less environmentally destructive, and I feel like that's a much more accurate description of what I do. And so, you know, for me, it was identifying, looking at the sort of life cycle of a product. Right, so you talk about like a t-shirt, for example, from the farm, seed, soil, cotton is growing, and then you have to go collect that, and then you have to spin it and